The Bugatti Chiron built its reputation on something rare in the hypercar world: brutal straight-line speed paired with old-world luxury. Each one sold for roughly $3 million, and buyers snapped them up in weeks. But its successor, the Bugatti Tourbillon, has gone even further. At $4.4 million, it isn't a mansion or a private jet, it's a car. And the world's most secretive collectors lined up years before it even had a name. The Tourbillon didn't just arrive. It rewrote what a hypercar is allowed to be. To understand why, you have to go back to the engine that came before it, and the unlikely partnership that replaced it. For nearly 2 decades, one engine defined Bugatti, the W16, an 8.0-liter quad-turbocharged monster that powered the Veyron starting in 2004 and the Chiron from 2016 onward. In the Veyron, it made 1,001 horsepower. In later Chiron variants, output climbed past 1,500 horsepower, and the car eventually hit the record top speed of 304 miles per hour. But by 2021, the world around that engine was changing fast. Emissions regulations were tightening, electric cars were gaining ground, and the W16, brilliant as it was aging. Bugatti needed a successor, but building a new flagship engine isn't something you rush, and the company didn't have the resources to do it alone. That's when a young Croatian engineer named Mate Rimac entered the picture. On November 1, 2021, Bugatti merged with Rimac to form Bugatti Rimac, a new company majority-owned by the Rimac Group, with Porsche holding the remaining stake. Rimac himself, who had founded his company in a garage barely 12 years earlier, became CEO of one of the most storied names in motoring. The pressure to deliver something extraordinary had never been higher. Rimac was born in Croatia in 1988. As a teenager obsessed with cars and electronics, he converted an old BMW into an electric car at 21 and started winning drag races against Ferraris and Porsches with it. People laughed, until they didn't. From that garage, he built Rimac Automobili, and by 2021 the company was producing the Nevra, a fully electric hypercar that shattered more than 20 world speed records and could hit 60 miles per hour in under 1.85 seconds, making it the fastest accelerating production car on the planet. So when Rimac took the reins at Bugatti, everyone assumed the brand would follow him into an all-electric future. Instead, he made a choice that stunned the industry. He kept the combustion engine and made it bigger, louder, and more dramatic than ever. At the heart of the Tourbillon sits a completely new, naturally aspirated 8.3-liter V16, co-developed with Cosworth, the same British engineering firm behind Formula One powertrains. This wasn't a reworked version of the old W16. It was a clean-sheet design built for one purpose: to be the most exciting naturally aspirated engine ever fitted to a road car. There are no turbochargers at all, which was a deliberate decision. Turbos add power, but they also add lag, that split-second delay between pressing the throttle and feeling the response. Bugatti's engineers wanted the opposite: instant, direct feedback from every input. The result revs to 9,000 revolutions per minute, far beyond the 6,500 to 7,000 revolutions per minute ceiling of most modern turbocharged engines. The architecture backs up that ambition. A cross-plane crankshaft gives the engine a sharper, more aggressive exhaust note. A 90-degree bank angle keeps it compact and low in the chassis. Dry sump lubrication lowers the center of gravity further. The crankshaft itself is a full meter long, spinning at 9,000 revolutions per minute while staying perfectly balanced, an engineering feat that's harder than it sounds to make reliable in a road car. On its own, the V16 produces around 1,000 horsepower. But it isn't working alone. 3 electric motors join the V16, 2 on a front e-axle and 1 at the rear, but they're not there to save fuel. They exist to eliminate the one weakness of a big naturally aspirated engine: the wait for revs to build. The electric motors fire the instant you touch the throttle, delivering immediate torque while the V16 climbs through its range and takes over with pure mechanical force. Combined, the system produces 1,775 horsepower. The Tourbillon accelerates from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 2 seconds flat and reaches a top speed of 276 miles per hour, nearly 100 miles per hour faster than a Boeing 737 at takeoff. The electric motors alone can spin up to 24,000 revolutions per minute, and a 25 kilowatt-hours, 800-volt battery provides up to 37 miles of pure electric range. That means you can glide silently through a city in full EV mode, then wake the V16 the moment you hit open road. Most $4.4 million cars are luxurious. The Tourbillon is something closer to a museum piece. Its instrument cluster was built by Swiss horologists to actual watchmaking tolerances, using over 600 components, more than double the roughly 280 moving parts inside a Rolex Daytona. Housed in titanium, set with genuine ruby bearings, and covered in sapphire glass, it's a fully mechanical, hand-assembled instrument rather than a digital display. The steering wheel is built around a fixed central hub, so only the outer rim rotates while the gauges behind it stay perfectly still, meaning your speed and revs remain visible no matter how hard you're turning through a corner. There is a center touchscreen, a first for a modern Bugatti, but it retracts into machined aluminum and crystal glass when not needed, leaving a clean, purely mechanical dashboard. The reasoning is simple: digital technology ages quickly. A phone that felt cutting-edge in 2014 looks outdated today. Bugatti wanted an interior that would still feel special a century from now, so it leaned on materials and mechanisms that don't go stale: analog dials, exposed aluminum, hand-finished leather. Getting in is its own event. The doors sweep upward and outward in a wide arc that integrates with the roofline, unlike a Lamborghini's forward-swinging scissor doors or a traditional gullwing. Inside, the seats are fixed directly to the floor, lower, lighter, and more rigid than an adjustable seat could ever be, while the pedal box slides electronically to fit the driver instead. And to start the car, you don't push a button, you pull a switch machine from a single block of anodized aluminum, deliberate and tactile, like winding a fine watch. Aerodynamics, weight, and the number that matters most. The Tourbillon shape was developed over 15 months in an Italian wind tunnel, using a half-scale model built from 250 individually 3D printed panels and fitted with more than 100 pressure sensors. Every surface was tested at speeds above 400 kilometers per hour. The design keeps Bugatti's signature elements: the horseshoe grille, the central spine, the dual-color split, but stretches them lower and wider than on the Chiron. Headlights sit in flying fenders that double as air channels feeding the radiators, while 124 LEDs form a single glowing taillight bar across the rear. A rear wing deploys only when needed. At top speed, the body itself is stable enough to stay planted without it. Despite carrying a battery, 3 motors, and a hand-built instrument cluster, the Tourbillon weighs about 1,995 kilograms, roughly on par with the Chiron it replaces. Its carbon composite chassis integrates the battery directly into the monocoque, and the suspension components, 45% lighter than the Chirons, were designed with AI assistance and produced through 3D printing. Then there's the number that defines the whole project: 250. That's the total number of Tourbillons Bugatti will ever build, at a rate of roughly 80 per year, with production wrapping up in 2029. Every single unit was reportedly spoken for before the first car left the factory, mostly to existing Bugatti owners and longtime collectors, since new buyers face steep odds of even being offered one. Pricing starts at 3.8 million euros, or about $4.1 million, before customization, with fully optioned cars regularly exceeding $5 million. Each one is hand-assembled at Bugatti's atelier on the grounds of Château Saint-Jean in Molsheim, France. Look at where the rest of the industry is headed. Tesla built its business on electric performance. Rimac's own Nevra is the fastest accelerating production car on Earth. Even Ferrari, Porsche, McLaren, and Lamborghini are folding hybrid or electric powertrains into their lineups. Mate Rimac, the man who proved electric hypercars could dominate, looked at all of that and chose to build a screaming, naturally aspirated V16 anyway. That wasn't a failure to modernize. It was a deliberate stand for something a spec sheet can't capture: the idea that a great engine isn't just a power source, it's a personality. It builds, it breathes, it rewards effort. Bugatti's own leadership has framed the Tourbillon as a bridge, a car built at the exact moment where 115 years of combustion engineering meets an electric future, before that future fully arrives. Given that each Bugatti flagship has lasted roughly a decade, and given the direction of the industry, it's plausible the brand's next generation could go fully electric sometime around the mid-2030s. If that happens, the Tourbillon may be remembered as the last Bugatti that truly roars, the last one where all 16 cylinders climb to 9,000 revolutions per minute under their own power, the last car where an analog soul was built into a carbon fiber body by hand. The 250 people who already own one aren't just buying speed or status. They're buying a specific, unrepeatable moment in automotive history, the handshake between a century of combustion and the beginning of something else entirely.